Hello, my name is Maggie Waruri, Margaret Wamboi Waruri, representing Talanta Development, INC, an organization that was started back in 2008 in North Carolina. We work with the youth. We've done quite a number of events, approximately 100 or more, in the US extensively, in Kenya, different counties, and also in Europe, Middle East, and South Africa.
My name is Engineer Wanyama, and I work for an organization dealing with the mobile equipment manufacturing. But beyond that, I do belong to an organization of Kenyans, referred to as the Kenya National Council of Elders Diaspora, where I learned about PLO Lumumba being the ambassador for that organization. And the idea was to have him giving us some advice as to how we can improve economically despite being in the diaspora. And this idea came about 2 years ago. And I thought it was a good idea to have him come and visit North Carolina and maybe other areas, because PLO Lumumba is somebody I know very well. We went to college with him in the mid-80s, and he was a student leader then, and we worked with him in the student body at the time.
I'm Anne Gashene from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I received a call that I wasn't aware of, and in true fashion of this robocalling environment, I did not pick it. And then the call was persistent, and I thought something nudged me to just pick it up. And on the other end of that call was Reverend Maggie, and she introduced herself and made mention that one of my community members had referred her to me as somebody who would be interested in being part of this conversation around PLO Lumumba's US tour in North Carolina.
My name is Mary Jaraba. I'm current chair of Kenya Christian Fellowship in America Triangle chapter, and I've been involved in this chapter since its inception back in 2003. My husband was the first founder of this chapter, and therefore I was very, very active in it. And since then I've been the current chair right now, and of course the general entire KCFA nationwide. And I got a call from a very close friend of mine, Maggie Waruri. I still feel like she's part of North Carolina, even though her current location is in Virginia. And we had this long conversation, and she told me about PLO coming, and I didn't know where she was heading to. And she asked if I would be interested in joining the organizing team about his coming. And of course, I'm fan of PLO. You know, I listen to him a lot. My husband is almost like, he's the one who told me about PLO. And I got very excited, and I knew I was extremely busy, very busy, but I offered to be there as much as I can.
Okay, my name is Dr. Philip Mwalali, and I am part of the planning team for PLO Lumumba tour in the US. I first heard about PLO coming to the US as a member of the Kenyan National Council of Elders in Diaspora. And at that time, we are really looking forward, and they started every time discussing about it. And later on, of course, several people called me about the committee which has been set up to be planning for this event. I felt I could not resist joining that team because I found names of Maggie Waruli, whom I respect, Isaac Kuria, whom I respect, Anna Kashina. I came to know her as the one who was coordinating the team, and she was so effective in organizing the team. and then Mary Jaraba, whom we have worked with in many forums. So I felt bound to join in, and I saw a great opportunity for me to be involved in organizing for this great Pan-African speaker to come and talk about African unity and socioeconomic issues which affect Africa at large.
My name's Dominic Mora. I'm the president of a religious organization called Waves of Joy International Ministry in Raleigh, Maryland, Virginia area, and also a member of Diaspora National Assembly, where we meet and discuss bills that we forward to the Kenyan government as proposals of what we would want, the Kenya we want. When I got a call from Maggie Warori, Reverend Maggie Warori, about Lumumba, Professor Lumumba coming to Raleigh, I got excited because as a diaspora people, like Anne Gashene said, we have the zeal and desire to get involved in socio-economic development of our country.
Yes, my name is Isaac. I'm with Miles of Great Hopes, which is an international non-profit here based in Raleigh and also in Kenya. We are for reviving, empowering and sustaining hopes for impoverished communities. We have worked in the last more than 10 years, have touched more than 10,000 lives, have done more than 15 different events. I've worked with great leaders. Actually, majority of them are right here with us. I mean, quite a number of different groups. And again, with Miles of Great Hopes, we do water, sanitation, health, and education. And those are great aspects of what keeps us going as a sustainable way, and looking at the things that that are important for the Kenyans in different areas, different regions, under the development and empowerment.
Hello, my name is Jane Nyambura, and how I found myself here with these great men and women of our community. I got a phone call from my friend Reverend Maggie, and she told me about PLO Lumumba touring Raleigh, and she was asking if I can be part of it. And I have listened to him before, and I know he is one person that you can tell that he can feel the heartbeat of our country, beloved country, Kenya. And when Reverend Maggie told me about who is going to be in the forum, I knew it, each one of them, whatever they stand for here in the diaspora, it's something to do with our beloved country. So that told me, with that being said, I knew there are people that really hold our country dearly, and they feel the heartbeat of our country, and I could not let it down.
Hey, my name is Evangelist Mercy Agnes, and I'll say that I'm excited this wonderful moment because, as the Bible says, all things work together for good. I'm a director of an organization called Waves of Joy International Ministry, whereby we deal with orphans in Kenya, and we thank God for the far that He has brought us.
My name is Jacinta Mwalali. I'm the wife of Dr. Mwalali. I am a manager of Chariot Home Care Services, and I found myself here today because of Dr. Mwalali, my husband. He has been very much involved in this PLO Lumumba, program.
I was given a call a few months ago by one of my colleagues who we sit with at the Kenya National Council of Elders, and I was asked to help organize a team so that we are able to receive Professor PLO Lumumba, who was coming to do a USA tour for the diaspora. And I made a few phone calls. At first, of course, I was hesitant because this is the first time that I was doing an event outside of my religious circles. I'm an ordained minister. But because I'm very interested, working with the youth, I'm very interested with the development of our country, Kenya, and of course encouraging our young people and training them, mentoring them about leadership, good governance, and good citizenship. So I took the task and made a few phone calls to different people. I started with Raleigh, where I lived for 8 years, but currently I live in Virginia, Fairfax County. So I made a call to people with whom I have done events with in North Carolina, Maryland, DC, and so we were to do events there.
So I did reach out to him and had some other leaders in the organization talk to him about the possibility of him visiting or coming to the diaspora, in particular the US here, to talk to people. And at the time it was geared towards coming to North Carolina. Out of that, he was supposed also to visit the Midwest, in particular Ohio at the time. And then the pandemic hit. At the time, there was a committee that had been set aside to look into bringing the organizations in the diaspora to work together, because people are sort of split and doing their own little things, especially the Kenyans, doing their own things, but there was no really organized system of bringing people together. But there are strong organizations like the Kenya Christian Fellowship in America, which I also belong to. And I thought that talking to PLO about these organizations was going to be an avenue to bring all these organizations together as one body for the Kenyans. And we must point out here that it was nothing political other than just socioeconomic development.
I was very excited about it because PLO is one of those guys that I've listened to over the years, and his message about Pan-Africanism and promoting us in the diaspora and Africa finding solutions for herself always has resonated with me. And I was, the idea that he would be in North Carolina was just beyond my imagination. And I was really, I told her I'll think about it, but in my spirit I felt it's something I would love to be a part of. Primarily because, you know, we in the diaspora are very much part of our, I'm originally from Kenya, so we do play a daily role in what happens back home, but we're not sensitized to that because it's so removed from us. But looking back in the numbers of the remittances we do back home, it's in the millions of dollars. But most of what we're doing is consumer remittances, bridging school fees, bridging hospital bills. But I felt this would be the forum where we addressed more tangible investments of us in the diaspora being involved in a way that has a return on our investment, whether it's helping with a dispensary, building a school, you know, just tangibly how our dollars can mean something, because for years we've been pouring back in the mother continent in either way, but we don't see that because it's consumer. So I was excited, and every night we had meetings for the several past months, and I met a great group of people.
Yes, PLO is such a unique figure, and I was very, very delighted to be part of the organizing team with very, very able readers in the community. I was also excited to see the type of readers that were involved in this, and it's been a precious journey. Let me say this, even though he did not end up coming to North Carolina, the fact that this brought us together. It's felt like I got a family that I didn't have. We've exchanged ideas and just extraordinary, amazing things while we were coordinating this. And I just feel like it's the beginning of another new venture in our lives. It's interesting that this did not break us. This actually strengthened us. We were extremely disappointed that he did not come. Me personally, you know, knowing that this is something I was hoping KCFA members would benefit from, and having to tell them that he's not coming was very frustrating and very disappointing. But at the same time, we've taken it well because we did the very best we could. We put our very best effort. We were really, really looking forward. Couldn't believe that just within a few days it was he wasn't going to come. But otherwise, it was amazing how the team got together and said, hey, you know, this weekend we had committed to be with the PLO. Why don't we just get together? We eat together, we celebrate each other. You know, we have worked so hard. We've given numerous hours into this, and also see what else can we do together. So that's how I got involved, and I'm extremely delighted to be part of this great team. Each and every one of them is unique in their own ways, and I can't imagine what we can do if we all got together, because we have Africa at heart, we have our country at heart. We want to see greater things in the country that we come from, and therefore just looking for other ways that we can boost the desire we have in our hearts together. Now,
I happen to be also a founder or co-founder of African Diaspora Coalition of USA. And because of that, I saw this as an opportunity for me to get involved with this planning team so that I can bring the wider kind of aspect of bringing PLO Lumumba to come and talk about African unity amongst the Africans in diaspora. So because of that, I thought this is a great opportunity, and I went and started spreading the word about PLO Lumumba coming, and they were all excited and ready to be there and listen to this great Pan-African speaker. Unfortunately, for circumstances which were unavoidable, he was not able to meet the schedule of his visit in North Carolina, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. So when we got the message about him not coming to North Carolina, we really got disappointed, because we had put a lot of effort and we had organized for his coming and visiting and interacting with the people in the different places and some high levels in North Carolina. And therefore we were in pain trying to see how we are going to cancel this and explain. It was very hard for us, in fact, to explain that he's not coming here, but we decided to take it cool, because we know circumstances could arise which are unavoidable. And of course of that, we have to change the course. So we assume, we believe that that is what happens, because of circumstances which are unavoidable came up, and therefore we could change the course, and that's where we are not included.
And as a person who have been involved in Kenyan leadership, especially in Nakuru County, we have been looking for people who speak the truth, people who speak as it is, that bring development to the people. And that is why I saw the need for us to come together to bring the diaspora people together to listen to this great mind. Unfortunately, that did not materialize. And when that didn't happen, it did not pull us down, because we had put a lot of time into planning for this event. That is how we have come together. People that represent different international organizations in this group, and we are mapping the way forward. One thing is to bring diaspora together, to continue the message of socio-economic development, to see how diaspora can be involved in Kenyan leadership, to show how not only in leadership, but also in social issues. So we have vast of ideas and things that we will be tabling down as we sit down to move forward with this event. Now, coming for PLO Lumumba to rally was a motivation for us to come together. The failure of the same.
So development and Mind Shift and Mind Kenya, looking at diaspora community, is something we breathe, something we think about, something that is natural, comes effortless to us, to a majority of the leaders. We actually feed off of each other, great skills, great leadership amongst ourselves. And as my colleagues mentioned over there, that PLO coming was a congregation of, hey, we're here, we're listening to you, let's propel, is adding and catalyzing the movement. And, but unfortunately, him not being able to come, we are so empowered. We are so empowered because it's not about us. It's never about us. It's about that other person. It's about, you know, the better Kenya that they used to say when we were young kids. We are the futures of tomorrow. Tomorrow is today. Tomorrow is yesterday. Tomorrow is many years back, that many things should have changed. And therefore there is a lot of great things that we owe to our future generation, past generation, generation of now, and we are the people. We are the people to deliver on that. And therefore, I serve and I'm the current chair of the Nairobi committee under the Sister City. Sister City is a global movement started in 1956 by former US President Dwight Eisenhower. And the goal was to build peace, one person at a time, one village at a time, one country at a time. The city of Raleigh, we want to acknowledge and appreciate them. They had offered and donated a space where we were going to have a great dinner, meet with great leaders, have many meetings during the office hours, and more development springboard from there. And therefore, these are things that we are cultivating and looking forward to getting to do them. Again, we have what it takes as leaders, and we are very fortunate that we are here and we're looking forward. We are happy, and we want to thank all the friends of Kenya, the Kenya in diaspora that listens and follows us in our message to partner these two great nations, the United States and Kenya, for future development. And the world is wide open.
Even after the meetings with PLO did not happen, we felt as a group that could there be even a more reason why God brought each one of us together, because we all have the same feeling, we all have the same thoughts about our country, Kenya, and we felt that this could actually be the beginning of a great thing to happen, even without having to rely or depend on anyone else. And through that, God has allowed each one of us to actually look deep within and realize we can actually do something. Each one of us can pull from within themselves, and we can bring whatever we have, all the talents, the gifts that we have on the table, and actually do a great and major movement in our beloved country. So, and that is where we are right now, and here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And yes, looking forward to what great things we can do together as a group.
And so I saw my husband involved in so many meetings. Some of them were going to late at night, and I didn't mind. But I was excited because I knew this is coming to bring a change to our community and help us develop even our community and bring development in Kenya. So I was looking forward to see this great man coming forth. I was also excited to see him voice up more, and so I was so busy forwarding the flyer, forwarding the video messages, the text messages, because I was excited. I wanted our community to be empowered and to feel that they are part of what is happening. And even though it didn't work out as we planned, I know that God had plans for all of us. And when all was said and done, it was said that we have to meet and talk and have lunch together. And I was happy to host these wonderful people in our house, and therefore we feel we are blessed to be together because there was a reason for it to happen.
In Charlotte, I am the outgoing chairperson of the community, the Kenyan community there, but I felt this message resonated for me in a very personal way, and the potential, the ripple effect of PLO Lumumba's visit here in the US in uniting us as diaspora to actually come together and actually do something that would have a footprint that does tangibly change lives back home would have been monumental. So I really, I took on the challenge, and it was a great challenge that has taught me a lot from my personal standpoint, and I believe the diaspora still does have a role to play, and we will find a way to forge forward from that.
I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who stood by us and was looking forward for this PLO Lumumba visit in Raleigh, DC, and also Baltimore, because I made all those calls. Thank you so much for standing with us as leaders. I believe when you watch this recording, you will realize that we are a big team of leaders who are ready to work together and make something happen in our country, Kenya, and also in Africa. But I also want to take this opportunity and apologize to our little ones who are very excited to come and do some things, like Matthew Dombi from Georgia, 12-year-old Matthew, was ready to come and recite some of the speeches by PLO, and that is what he loves to do. He's a great upcoming leader with whom I have worked since he was 7 years old. We have others in Baltimore who are ready to come and do traditional dances. Some of the things that we encourage our children, especially those that are born here and those that came from Kenya young, we still want to retain and maintain and encourage them to keep our tradition. So they were ready to entertain us with dances and things like that. And of course, their processing of this failure in terms of the event happening, they are not able to process like we are able to. So we want to take this opportunity and encourage them that we are committed to doing these things in the future, and probably in a greater way. So they should not be discouraged. Continue doing what you do. And we know that there are days and there are times when you look forward to something and you feel like it didn't happen the way you wanted it to happen. But we also need to know that God always has a greater plan. It's not just about a person or just an event. It is about what God is preparing us to do in the future. God always has the grander plan, and that's why we are seated here trying to find solutions, not just for our diaspora, but also for our country, Kenya, and also Africa as a whole. So be encouraged and continue doing what you do. Matthew, Jersey, the dancers in Baltimore, and all the rest of the young people who are waiting for this great man to come so that they can have a conversation.
I take this opportunity to thank all those who are involved in putting together this program. And as you can see, it was not by accident that Reverend Maggie was selected to lead this effort. She did deliver. She got a team, a very strong team. Everything was in place. But the disappointment here is that at the end of the day, PLO did not get to talk to us. Efforts will be made towards getting him to come to North Carolina at some point. I truly believe that that is something that really needs to happen, and we will work towards making that really happen. Thanks for all those who put this together once again. It is not any effort wasted. Be encouraged. Everything that happens for a reason, and may God bless each and every one of you.
As we can learn from everybody who contributed to this this analysis of what happened, this was a much expected visit by PLO Lumumba, and we believe, despite of what has happened, that it did not get into North Carolina, we still believe that there is a lot we can do, and because we think there is a mission which needs to be attended, a mission of uniting Africans in diaspora to be able to help their communities around where they live. We know there are many opportunities which are there for the Africans in diaspora and in this country, in the US, but we are not able to tap on those because we can only benefit if we are united and if we have got a common front. We also believe the Africans in diaspora, they can create a lot of change in their own respective countries. And that's why it was exciting to have PLO Lumumba to interact with the Kenyans as well as Africans in diaspora, so that they can discuss about the importance of unity amongst Africans in diaspora and also in their respective countries, to talk about our potential in contributing to socio-economic development in our respective countries and also within our community here in the US. So we still think that this can happen, and we will still follow up so that we can have PLO Lumumba and other people of his like who can actually come and talk about Pan-Africanism and our contributions to the socio-economic development, both for the community here in the US and also the community at home in Kenya and the other African countries.
We pray over everything that we do. And one of the things that happened in every meeting that we held, we started with a word of prayer, we ended with a word of prayer. And that's why, by the grace of God, we've been able to take this very, very well, because we might have thought God was preparing us and putting us together for this cause, but we do believe that God has a different agenda. We all carry many, many ministries, a lot. Actually, each and every one of us do so much. Some of it may not even be in public, but it's amazing what will happen when we all get together and empower one another. We were brought together at One Voice Consortium, and it's true, we've become, we are all from North Carolina, speaking in one voice and looking in ways we can empower one another, even from the very platforms that we operate from, whether it be KCFA, whether it be Waves of Joy, whether it be Miles of Great Hopes, all these great ministries and other many things that many people here are doing. Like I do have an orphanage ministry, I do have education ministry where I went to school without any school fees. I didn't have to pay a loan. So I decided instead of paying a loan, I'll be educating children. It's been such a blessing. So it's one way of us coming together and encouraging other people to join this cause. See how we can use our very privileges to be a blessing to the other privileged in our country. And now that God has given us an opportunity to be in this country, see how we can squeeze ourselves a little bit so that we can bless someone else out there. So I'm very excited actually that we all can get together and talk on the same ground, have one voice regarding how we can move forward, past what brought us together. We thank God, like we are very grateful that God had to use our PLO to bring us together like this for a common good.
This group was formed in a very unique way, and it was kind of spontaneous because it was a question of a call to somebody, and the person responds positively that I'm part of that team, and it is because we saw a common need somewhere, and which we needed, and we felt committed as a group, to come and address that issue. And it came around the tour by PLO Lumumba, and that is something we would like to continue with, addressing those needs which made us to be so committed to this tour. We knew it was what we had in mind was even beyond the tour, and that is why we are saying as a first step forward is for this group to continue exchanging ideas and views on the way forward, sharing opportunities of us contributing to unit amongst the Kenyans in diaspora and also the Africans in diaspora at large. And as we share this, exchange these ideas, where opportunities arise. Some of the opportunities might require that we collectively just go and venture into writing a proposal to do something, and which we can actually do and implement under any of the organization, depending on the area we want to address. And then that way we can actually now look at that and say, yes, we as a group, we have found this great need. And we feel this great need can be addressed with the people who are in this organization. For example, I know members of, some of the members here, we belong to the National Council of Elders in Diaspora. We might find this is something which, if it's channeled through the Kenya National Council of Elders in Diaspora, we might find that is an institution which provides us with the structure which is required for us to be effective. For example, I can give an example. For example, if we are to give civic education to our community, the network of Kenyan National Council of Elders in Diaspora, linked with the Kenyan Council of Elders in Kenya, which is constitutionally formed, and which in fact out of the constitution, that is how they set up the Ministry of Cohesion. And therefore, that is a network where we can actually implement and have an impact of a group like this.